Hey everybody, welcome to the mommyEvolve broadcast today. So I'm talking today about magical motherhood. Magical motherhood, and what does that mean? Well, first of all, we have to define magic. So for me, magic is the internal alignment, the alignment you have with yourself internally, where you can sense, feel, and know that something outside of you is good for your evolution. Okay. So let me write that down. The internal alignment you have with yourself that lets you know that whatever is happening outside of you, that outside forces are either allies or enemies, I'll say. Okay. And how to use them. Okay. So that is something I think that really everybody has their own magic. Turning on that magic takes time, it takes focus, it takes self-fullness, self-care. If you didn't see my live yesterday on Instagram about returning home, returning to yourself through various self-care activities, and that's something that you definitely want to take a gander at. Okay. But that magic is through holistic understanding. When I say holistic, I mean mind, body, and spirit, right? So when I say mommy magic, I'm talking about that internal alignment that lets you know that what it is that you are doing, saying, feeling is okay, and you are finding ways to navigate it in a healthy way. So that magic may bring you to, for example, being able to free birth, or knowing how to engage with your child in a way that brings out the best in them, your child, your mate, whoever. And so I feel like in this day and age of the evolving women who are getting back to their state of wholeness and wellness, we are learning how to operate in our magic. And with learning how to operate in our magic, I feel that it's best that we use every tool that we have, that we can use. So that requires us to get informed and educated. I know I had to do that for myself. Unfortunately, it took a breakdown for me to build myself up. Well, a lot of can't even say it's unfortunate. It is what it is, because now I'm here and I'm able to share with you what I know to hopefully assist women through processes where they feel like they're having a breakdown, which is really a build-up, to be quite honest with you, so they can live their best lives, and so that they can have a blueprint for which they can teach their children to live their best lives as well. Their children, their communities, through living their best lives, they inspire those in their lives to also live their best lives. That's the best way to get people to do things, right? One of the best ways, anyway. Let me not say the best way, because there's no the best for anything. Everybody is different. So I wanted to share with you some of my magical tips for reconnecting with myself holistically. So if you don't know who I am, my name is Cecile, and I am the creative director of mommyEvolve. And mommyEvolve holistically assists women and men in evolving themselves, their families, and their communities. So I discuss parenting. I discuss your own internal processes in life, your past, your childhood. Okay, which, by the way, I have an inner child healing meditation that is fire. I'm just getting it cleaned up. But There's so many things that I feel like we have at our disposal, and we have to really trust ourselves. We really have to trust ourselves that what we feel, see, know, and understand is true. So I'm going to give you an example. When I was, sometimes our bodies give us the signals. So when I had if you don't know about this, you can go to my YouTube channel. When I had my awakening, which was basically me having a whole anxiety attack, where I thought I was I was about to be taken out. Hi, Timothy. It's been a long time. How are you? I instinctively knew that there were certain things that I needed to do outside of the medical world. So what does that mean? I feel like spirit led me to a particular kind of therapist who was an art therapist. I feel as though spirit led me to this herb right here, which I sell on my website. You can get it there, and I recommend it highly to women. Matter of fact, in my intuitive sipping paint, I had it. This is, you can see the name, Lemon Balm, for my Mommy Time line of items. Okay. And you can get it from the Mommy Time website. Like spirit led me to it, and it became the thing that was best for my personal evolution. And so I really advocate for women to try things that they're led to try, and things that are suggested to them, and just go through the motion with it, because there's a reason why that thing was suggested to you. It's not for no reason, right? So this morning, for example, not this morning, last night, actually, something in me said, go into your stash of herbs and go find something in there and make a bath to cleanse yourself and some tea to drink. And I have this whole, it's like a straight up apothecary in my kitchen of herbs that were given to me, of herbs that were purchased, that I just never used. Like I just saw them and I was like, oh, I want to try that. I do that pretty often. And I purchased it. So I had this epiphany last night. All right, make some tea and also make a bath, a cleansing bath out of it. And so I went to the thing, and a couple of them popped in my mind. How I remembered them, I don't know. But two popped in my mind. One was this, Angelica. Angelica, the other name for Angelica is Don Quai. So it's a herb, so a herb for female, for women, to help balance out their hormones. And it also makes the uterus contract and things like that. Why I needed it, I don't know. But when I took it, I felt so great. And when I washed myself in it, I felt so great. And then there were a couple others. So this one, I took some of this and I sprinkled around my door, my house, and around the balcony and such, and just around the house. It's a protection herb. Why I need that, I don't know. But I trust it. The other one is agrimony. This one is, okay, this one is for protection as well, but it's also for love and harmony in the household and in relationships. This one is arnica, and this one is also, again, a feminine herb that is good for the female, cleansing the aura. You can take baths in it, soak in the bath, or use it to create a bath that you pour over yourself in the bathtub. And so my spirit just led me to those. And I made a concoction. I mixed up each of them, poured some water on it, used it for a bath. And then, as I said, I took the bath root and I sprinkled it around my house because it's a protection. And I just trusted my inner guidance with purchasing them and with using them. I'll know the testimony once I get there, just like I did with the lemon balm. I didn't know. Somebody told me about lemon balm, just said lemon balm to me, and something in me said, oh, I need to get that. And I got it. And it has been the godsend in my life to help me to sleep well, to help balance out my hormones, to get my cycle regulated, all of those things. And I'm saying this because that's your magic. Your magic is in trusting yourself, learning how to trust yourself. And of course, a lot of times we have to pull down all of these resistances that we have from being taught that trusting ourselves is dangerous, right? And so that's the other part of the holistic wellness that I promote and that I do in my services, my classes, and my individual self-care coaching and mommy coaching. I get women to see these things that they have used to limit themselves or things that have been told to them that remove them from their magic, from home, as I said in my talk last night on IG. The other thing because I promote generational wellness, so those herbs that I created that I mixed up last night, I also gave my daughter some to wash herself up with when she was in the shower. Because what I do for her, I have to have a consideration for doing it for myself as well. Or what I do for myself, I have to have the consideration for doing it for myself. And so when I started this, my campaign with these is about generational womb wellness. So I give these to, or I sell these to women whose daughters have their first. These are the overnights, but I also have the liners and the regular day use. And I use these because I wanted to make sure that I use something that when my daughter does start when her menarche comes, that she'll have something to use that is healthy for her body. And I know because I've been using it, because if you don't know, when girls start their menarche, sometimes it's heavier at the start, the first couple of years, until it balances out. And so when I know more about that, and I know the things that I'm using are effective for me, because I know my hormones have balanced out more and things have balanced out more for me using these and using the herbs and using the things that I've used to accelerate my magic, my personal magic, my knowledge of myself. Now I'm passing that on to her. And if you consider it, one of the main things that women always say when I'm having these facilitating conversations and workshops and such is that there's so many things that they wish they would have known from their foremothers. And quite frankly, we are not initiated as young women, as adult women having children, by being nurtured in ways that help us to trust our magic and trust ourselves. And so there's always a list of things that I hear women say, and I know for myself that they wish they would have known. I taught myself all of this stuff. It wasn't, I trusted myself with the information that was being brought to me. Let me say that. And so it wasn't something that was taught to me. It was something that I had to trust myself with. And that's fine, because now I have the foundation, the groundation, the knowledge that I can share with other women through my coaching, etc., and just in general. And of course, to my children. Right now I have one child, but even if I have sons, I want to teach them this information, because they need to know for their sisters, their friends, their girlfriends, their wives, when they get married, their aunts, and that's information that they need to have some understanding of, even though they may not personally ever physically experience some of the things. It's so critical that we teach women, teach young girls, and first and foremost, of course, that we teach ourselves to trust in our own inner magic and our own sense of self and our self-love, and build ourselves up from inside by trusting the things that we are pulled towards, drawn towards, and in learning information, learning to trust what we're pulled towards and why, and stay present enough in our lives to access our inner magic and to utilize it. Because all of these things, again, are things that I didn't learn from anybody. I didn't learn about mixing these herbs together. I picked these herbs just by buying them online. And lo and behold, my spirit told me to buy these, and my spirit told me right. because now I'm able to use them to heal my mind, body, and spirit. Isn't that wonderful? So I'm urging you to trust yourself, to evolve the inner mother, to learn yourself, to trust what it is that you're learning and growing in. Okay. And I want to invite you, or to give you the opportunity to go through this 6-week online course that you can take at your own pace. It's going to launch in July, and you can find some of the details. I will put it in the comments section, the website, because I can't type and talk at the same time. And it will be below this video in YouTube for you to take a look at, because these are the critical steps to evolving yourself from intergenerational habits, from having a poor relationship with yourself, to grow yourself in such a way that you are more self-trusting, more self-loving, and you have the tools to use to access your greater self. All things that I've used personally. When I tell you that my level of growth these past few years, and I'm now on the end of some of the things because I was actually stubborn. I ain't even gonna lie. I was stubborn around some of the things, especially when it came to trusting other people. But even that now, because I've become so in tune with myself, it's not even about trusting somebody else. It's about trusting me and what I need, and expressing what I need from people clearly. And that's one of the many things that you learn in this process. So what comes with it? Well, as I said, it's a 6-week course. So you get the workbook materials that you have access to for a lifetime. You get the videos. And each week you will have a one-on-one call with me to discuss the details of what's coming up for you, activities that you can do. And these videos include meditations that you'll have access to, and the recordings for some meditations, some gratitude meditations. And it's just a powerful experience. All of these things that I have done personally to grow myself, that I'm using to give access to my daughter for growing herself. And it's powerful. It's really powerful. And I believe that it is a movement where mothers are gaining more clarity around themselves, around their role, and better able to shift themselves so that they can shift future generations or become in more alignment. Because I have to be honest, a lot of these young children these days are very on point in a lot of ways. They do still need a lot of grounding, but in a lot of ways, they are very on point. So I just wanted to come and share that with you. I'm actually on here longer than I thought I was. If you're interested in any of the products, particularly the Lamo pads, the herbal pads, or the herbal teas, you can always visit my website, and I'll have it again down in the comment section. Check out my definition of magic. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think about any of the things that I discussed in this video. I want to hear more about what you think, what your process of evolving is like, what you need as a mother and a woman. Call it out, because oftentimes we don't even call it out, and so therefore we don't get what we need. And it is time for us to get what we need. Ask the question. There is no silly question. If you don't know, you just don't know. And you don't know what you don't know until you ask the questions, right? Because you might get even extra information than what you had bargained for. So with that said, Mommy Evolvers, I am so happy to have come here with you tonight. Exhale fear, inhale courage. Courage for your own self and your own life and its evolution. And I look forward to seeing you again soon. If you missed it, please watch the replay. If you have questions, drop it below, or comments. And I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye.